Some of the key challenges in high net worth divorces are that you have complex assets. Sometimes you own properties, you own businesses, and sometimes there are hidden assets. So we need to dig into the value of all of these assets, and usually it involves working with your financial planner as well. The property division in high net worth divorces is generally pretty complex. Most of the time, or sometimes, people don't want to divide the businesses. They don't want to sell the properties. So the property division can be a little bit creative in that maybe the wife keeps the business, the husband keeps the properties, we divide the pensions. I'm just giving you examples, but it can be creative in that we're not splitting or selling assets. We're dividing them so that it's fairly equal, but we're not destroying the high net worth estate in order to go through the divorce. So that brings us to the question of how do you divide assets in high net worth divorces? We're talking about high valued art, collectible cars, real estate, businesses. And these items can be valued, they have value, and each person can choose which assets they want to keep, or we can sell them and divide the proceeds, or we can continue to co-own them in the future, depending on how well the couples get along. We can be very creative to make sure that the estate is not destroyed, that it doesn't lose value, depending again how well the couple gets along. If there are hidden assets, that brings another aspect of complexity to a high net worth divorce and might signal that it could be a little bit more contentious and maybe the couple might not be getting along as well. That's when we start to possibly value assets and sell them off, and then the couple or one of the spouses keeps the proceeds. So again, we get creative, a little more creative in high net worth divorces than possibly in some other divorces to make sure that we keep the estate intact. So there are actually no caps on child support in Wisconsin, even when you're dealing with high net worth estates. However, we can also get creative if by agreement, the parties want to put a certain amount of money in a trust for the children in the future, they can do that. There was a case that the court actually did not allow a ruling for the court to put money into a 529 account, but if you do it by agreement, that's a whole different situation. So you can do certain things by agreement that cannot be done by a court order, and that's why it's important to get an attorney to help you understand your risks, understand your options, and come up with creative opportunities. So child support is calculated simply by a number of overnights, depending how many overnights each parent has with the child or with the children. If a parent has less than 25% of overnights with the child, it's going to be a standard percentage, 17% for one child, 25% for two children, 29% for three children, 33% for four children. That's all available online, very easy to find. But if it's not less than 25% of overnights for one child, then it's a comparison of the income of each parent, taken into consideration of the number of overnights that each parent has. So high net worth cases are interesting because there's no cap on spousal support or maintenance. But again, there's several ways to settle or negotiate maintenance. We could do a buyout. You could do it for a certain or fixed amount of years, or you could do it for the entire future, depending on how long you've been married, depending on the age and the health of the parties, depending on the income of each person, or if it's rehabilitative maintenance. There's a lot of factors that go into maintenance. High income earners generally negotiate maintenance and try to keep each party at the same standard of living that they were enjoying while they were married. If you have questions about what to expect in a high net worth divorce, give us a call at Renier Hotopp Law.